Marvel's The Marvels is in theaters now, but is it as marvelous as people say? Let's find out. Released in 2023, The Marvels is not really a sequel to any one thing, really. It's a sequel to Captain Marvel, which features Captain Marvel. It's a sequel to the TV show Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, which features Miss Marvel. And it's also like a half sequel to WandaVision, which features Monica Rambeau in it. So it's not a full sequel to WandaVision, but watching WandaVision will enhance your viewing of this movie. So it's like a half sequel. So it's like a 2.5 sequel movie to multiple things from the MCU. And because of this, this movie doesn't really have one main character. It really has 3 main characters in this movie. And the trailer shows that these 3 characters all have light-based powers, and in this movie, their powers become entangled with each other, and they have to figure out how to not have them be tangled. Because when they use their powers at the same time, they swap places. So the trailer shows that the movie, a big premise of it is figuring out how to fix that. But you know that, you've seen the trailers, you're here because you want to know, is this movie worth the watch? And I'm here to tell you that this movie is just okay. It's not amazing, it's not going to blow your socks off, but it's not terrible either. You're not going to leave the theater like we did with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, wishing you could get your money back for the crap show that you just watched. Because this movie has 3 main characters, it has to balance all 3 character arcs and their interaction with each other. And I think that this is honestly one of the strongest parts of the movie. Seeing Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Captain Marvel all interacting with each other is actually some really fun moments in this movie. If you've seen Miss Marvel, you know that she is a huge Captain Marvel fan. Her room is just Captain Marvel everything, like mine is Star Wars behind me. So seeing her get to actually meet Captain Marvel for the first time and that interaction was just super well done, really well done. Plus Iman as Miss Marvel really shines in this movie. She is by far the best actress in this movie. She really deserves her spot in this movie. Goose the Flerken Cat makes a return in this movie, and there's a scene with Goose that I'm not going to spoil, but it's just my favorite scene of the entire movie, and I think it was just an amazing scene. Besides that though, there's not really much else in this movie that was amazing. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the fact that Captain Marvel had such interaction with her and Nick Fury in the first movie, and they really wanted some more of that in this movie. And while I tend to agree with that, there's not as much Nick Fury as I would like there to be. It's also key to understand that this isn't Captain Marvel's movie. This is her, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau's movie. So Nick Fury and Captain Marvel's interactions, yes, got sidelined, but it didn't need to be a focus of the movie. The score was just okay. There was one good song that was used for a scene, but I can't even remember any like notable score pieces that I was like, whoa, this sounds really cool. The villain was just the worst. I don't even remember what the villain was doing in this movie. She honestly didn't even need to be there. She was just some knockoff Ronan the Accuser because nostalgia, look at Ronan's hammer. Here's a toy that we can sell again. Plus her name was like Bartender, something like that. Stupid name, stupid villain, super underwhelming. And that includes the final fight of the movie. This final fight was just so underwhelming, which is really sad because there were some really good action pieces in the movie where these characters are switching places with their powers, and it made for some really good choreography in other scenes. The final fight was like, okay, we did it. Anyways, and that's really how I feel about this entire movie. I left the theater and I was like, all right, I watched The Marvels. Anyways, which is really sad because the ending of the movie has some pretty big implications for the MCU going forward. And while what happened at the end doesn't really line up with how what happened at the end happened in the rest of the movie, that didn't make sense. But if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The ending of the movie just has really big implications. And while these implications are amplified in the mid-credit scene, of course there's a mid-credit scene, it's a Marvel movie, but there's no post-credit scene. But in the mid-credit scene, it really leans into those implications, however, which I thought was kind of cool. It almost feels like there should have been a post-credit scene though, because the last scene of the movie, the last like minute or two, the actual movie before the credits roll, feels like it should have been one of the credit scenes. Then it just got like mixed up in the editing process somehow. All that to say, The Marvels is just a fun, decent movie. If you're looking to just go to the movies, spend some time in the movies, eat some popcorn, this is a good movie, but it's not going to blow your socks off. It's got some great character moments with the three main characters. It has some really good visuals in this movie. But besides that, there's nothing to write home about. If you like this review, you obviously like something, you've made it to the end of the video. Drop a like, drop a comment with your favorite part of the movie or your least favorite part of the movie. And if you haven't seen it yet, just drop your favorite emoji because it helps engagement and we all like emojis. And as always, happy movie watching.